Am I live? Maybe. So we're gonna post something. I'm live. I hope we're gonna do a little IG here to maybe get some people on here. We'll see what happens. So, hey! It's a little embarrassing that this is all on the interwebs, but yeah, we'll see if anybody pops on. YouTube right now. Come on by and say hello. Okay. I don't know. People may or may not be showing up. We shall see. I started recording my intro on my iMovie, and then I decided, hey, you know what? Let's try this. Hey, Mean Girls. Okay, do I have Rebecca or Stephanie, or do I have both of you? Because that's important, or not. I don't know. But hey, girls, nice to see you. Yay, somebody's here. So I don't know. How long do I wait, guys, before I start this thing off? I'm bad enough and awkward enough in a normal. No. Your comments won't be dumb. If anything, they'll have me laughing quite hysterically, kind of like your guys' last live podcast went. So I hope it's both of you. There is no one or the other that I hope it is. So we'll just operate under both. So quick intro, I guess, even though I guess the people watching know who I am. But my name is Lacey. I am the host of the Knitted Cupcake podcast. I'm really, oh, hi, Rebecca. Glad that you guys could join me today. I'm trying out this live thing. We'll see actually how it goes. I've got my co-host Boris here. Hopefully he behaves because I've got him locked in the room with me and I'm not going to want to get up and let him out. So we'll see what happens. Please, I guess I should still go through all my normal intro stuff now that, because when it saves and goes onto YouTube. Anyway, oh, this is going to be bad. I can tell already. Anyway, you can find me on Instagram as the.knitted.cupcake. You can find me on Ravelry as WOU Knitter, as well as our podcast group, which is not that exciting, but it's there. So if you search in the group tabs under the Knitted Cupcake podcast, you'll find us. So I got a decent amount to show today, considering, I mean, it's been a long time, so I should have a lot to show, but grad school has been taking over my life, and I have been filling every spare second of time with knitting. So I do have some finished things to show you this time. So I'm also operating not only my live, but I have no notes to go off of. So this is going to be really fun. Yeah, so let's start off with finished objects. So these are I think they were the Warm and Snug socks by Mina Phillip. These were her February sock pattern for her Warm and Snug, her cozy. Why can't I think of that club collection name? Maybe I should look it up because I can't find it, or I can't think of it. Will it tell me? No, it doesn't tell me which collection, but it's not her Wanderlust, but her. I usually write notes. Call me an overachiever, but I'm going to get rambly, and you're going to see why I typically write notes and the fact that I can't even remember the pattern collection that this came from. But yeah, Mina Phillip, Knitting Expat Designs. I knit these out of Nomadic Yarns in her Luna color, and it is her sparkle base, and I love them. I wasn't the biggest fan of this pattern. It's a cool pattern, but not one that I'll do again, I don't think. Hence the shorter leg as well. My legs typically go up to here, so shorter leg. There's that. And I do have the second one. Ta-da! Okay, so the next finished object is another Mina Phillip. Thanks! I do like them. I do like the finished product. I was not the biggest fan of the knits. Just making those little bumps were on the obnoxious end for me. I just wasn't a big fan. These are her, again, I should know these things and not just have to look at it on my phone, but Derive, I think is how you say that. She's really good at picking out names that I can't usually pronounce. The Derive socks. So these are from her Wanderlust sock collection for March. And these I knit out of Indigo, yes, dog. Indigo Color Company, which is Amy Meeks of the Periscoping Sisters. And this is her Sex in the Driveway colorway. And I love how these knit up. So I do have the second one. Ta-da! But I love these little bright neon green bits that come throughout. I love these socks. And I did a shorter leg on this one too, but that's what I'm into right now. So yes, the Derive socks, Mina Phillip. Oh, hi, Stella. Thank you. I've got more than one viewer. Rebecca, you're awesome. But now there's more than one. Yay. Okay. But yeah, so these I literally just bound off today. And exciting, I wove in the ends. Who am I? I don't know. Rebecca, you're going to be totally ashamed of me. I know, 2 at a time. 2 at a time is the only, if I do 1 at a time, I have massive, 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 massive second sock syndrome. So yeah, knitting socks 2 at a time is really the best possible way for me to get an actual pair of socks. So that was loud, sorry. Next finished object. I know, it's actually, I think everything no, the first pair of socks, the ends are not woven in. So feel better about that. The next finished object I have a total of 4 today, guys. 4, which is really exciting. This is my She Rises hat by Riza Knits on Ravelry. I love this pattern. This is out of a Lemonade Shop worsted. Yay, knitters are the best. And I love the hat, but part of me wants to, I don't know if I want to rip it all the way out, but maybe take it back a little bit because it's a little slouchier than I typically wear my hats. But I don't know, maybe I'll get a big old pom-pom and it'll work too. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave it and get a big pom-pom or take it back to take out some of the slouch? I don't know. I don't know. But I do love the pattern. I love the color. It's a really fun yarn, and I don't know if it's going to show up. Ooh, awesome. But you can see there's little bits, pops of like fuchsia in there, some little kind of rusty orange. It's super subtle, but I really, really love it. So that is that. Finished object number 3. And I take it back and get a palm. You might be onto something there, girl. I'll have to think about that. It's getting outside of hat weather here. I mean, look how big this is. So with this pattern, I went down a needle size from what the pattern suggested. I probably could have gone down another needle size as well as cast on those stitches. You were supposed to do this motif 3 times around. I read the pattern wrong and only did it once. So just overall, this hat's just a little too big for me, but I know I'll wear it. So maybe I will, because I think, so I started my decreases here. I think I can take it back to about here and redo the decreases and get a pom-pom. It's a great idea. So this will kind of sit and hang out for a bit before I make a decision on that. My final finished object is for the non-spouse. Rebecca will understand what that means. My boyfriend. And this is his fingering weight brioche bandana cowl. And I want to steal it from him because I love it. And it looks good with what I'm wearing. My t-shirt. Oh, I didn't show off my t-shirt. I have to show off my t-shirt. Okay, so quick side note. This was a purchase off of Zulily. It takes balls to knit. Yes, yes, it does. I love this thing. So find it on Zulily. I have another one that's like a baseball style t-shirt that says it's not hoarding if it's yarn, which, did I show you the giant bag of stash? Yeah, this is all new acquisition. So I like to follow Stephen West's lead and say that I am a, what is it, a collector of fine fibers. So there's that. But yeah, it's my very awesome, fun shirt. I love it. So yeah, anyway, back to this. Fingering weight brioche bandana cowl. And this is a pattern by Lavanya Patricella. And it kind of got a little skewed. I don't know what happened, why it's doing the at an angle thing, but it's awesome. And this yarn was a custom dye from Dogstar Knits. Hey, Jake, if you ever get around to watching. Hi, Jen. Yeah. So, side note, Jen, my friend, who is a dyer behind the Perfect Stitch Fiber Company, just popped on. Go check her yarn out because she's amazing and I love her, and go support her. So, yeah. Anyway, he dyed up this colorway specifically for me to knit something for my boyfriend out of. Well, Jewel, hey, how's it going? Lots of love for you guys. It's not stealing. What did I steal? No, I don't even remember what I said. It's not stealing if you made it. Oh, yes, no. Yeah, definitely not stealing if I made it. But yeah, so this is, he named it after a character from the video game that inspired the colorway, which is, oh, that's exciting. And you caught mine, Caitlin. Oh, this is my first ever live stream, so this is gonna be fun. Maybe, we'll see. The colorway is based off of the video game The Witcher 3, which he is a big fan of and just recently, I think, finished playing it like the second time through. And it's named after the character Gwynblade. I'm not that familiar with the game. Jake was awesome and went and did his own research beyond the one like video game picture I sent him. And so he created this darker color and then this kind of dusty blue to go with it. And they're perfect. I love it. And I love that I made something that we can share. Hello. Oh, hi. Okay, so do I have Christy or Tristan from Girls in the Yarn Cafe? I had to ask my mean girls the same thing. If he really loves me, he'd want me to have it. Maybe. He may not love me that much. He bugged me so much to get this thing. He knew I had the yarn, and I had the yarn for a long time before I even cast anything on for it. Oh, Christy, I'm so sorry you're feeling sick again. You have had the worst year for illness. Hopefully you're not too sick to knit because you can be making some sweet headway on your Swan show. But yeah, so I don't think that he would ever let me totally have it, but I'm sure I'll be able to steal it upon occasion or borrow it, use it. Not stealing because I made it. But if you haven't made this, yes, good job on your Swan show, love it. If you haven't made this pattern before, again, it's the fingering weight brioche bandana cowl from Lavanya Patricella. It is phenomenal. I love the pattern. She has it, I think, in either a DK weight or a worsted weight as well. Honestly, you could do this in any weight yarn. Just adjust your cast on because you start knitted in the round and then you separate. But it is such a fun knit, a great way. No, it can be fast to knit. I have knitting ADD, so I jump from project to project, but is definitely something that I think could be done if you're pretty monogamous within a week. Even faster if you do it in DK or worsted. Hey. But I love the fingering weight. I love a good fingering weight. Shawl, sweater, that kind of a thing. I'm a bigger girl, so I get warm. So lightweight fingering weight is kind of my jam. So that is that as far as my FOs go. That's what she said. He gets a kick out of the fact that that's called fingering weight. And yeah, dirty mind. Yeah. Oh, so bad. So bad. Okay. Let's dive into some whips. Let's see here. I have one secret whip that I can't show you because it's a test knit, and I'm hoping I need to get booking on it to try to get it done by the deadline because the deadline's on the 31st and I'm running out of time. But I will definitely show you, I know. I can show you the colors I'm knitting out of. It's brioche and it's really fun. I'm really excited by it. But this is, I love this bag. So I've shown off my friend Megan's bags before. I can't remember if I showed this off on my last podcast. I don't know if I had it at that point. But this is a new design that she came up with that is perfect for the whole enamel pin craze that's going on. So this is from Megan of Little Fish Stitches. There's her little tag. She's got an Etsy shop and a podcast, and she's awesome. I love it. But my favorite part about this bag is that this unzips and creates a pocket, which is the perfect place to pin your pins because it's not going to get caught on any of your yarn inside of the bag. And then you have this great pocket that runs all the way around the outside of your bag. So I've got some stitch markers and my yarn labels and all of that fun stuff in there to kind of keep it organized. And then I know that my pins aren't going to snag my knitting. I did buy some locking pin backs because I have already lost one of my pins, which makes me really sad. But I just like how this keeps it nice and keeps my knitting safe from my pins. And she's got a heavier canvas on the bottom, which makes a perfect spot for your pins to hang. So I'm trying to think. These ones are from, so I have my Yarn Club member pin from Clever Clove. This is a Rifle Paper Company girl, and she says nailed it, which I love. Another Clever Clove Fueled by Coffee. And then this one is Twill and Print, my little slow knitter snail with sparkly yarn in there. And then my Yarn Snob from Lemonade Shop. So I know, aren't they? I love the Clever Clove for pins. I love Twill and Print. They've got great pins, but Clever Clove is probably my favorite because she has such a wide variety of pins for every style of person. And she designs them all herself too, which is phenomenal. I'm sure the designer at Twill and Print does too, but I love Clever Clove. Love, love, love. So yeah, and here is my test knit. I'm going to be a tease. I'm sorry. I'll show you a little bit. I can't, that's what you get. Brioche. And actually, Christy, this is your yarn. I can't remember what colorway that is, but I have the tag, so I could tell you. So I'll take that out so you can't see it. But I am using, oh, come on. So this is Yarn Cupcake. No, this one's yours, Christy, the lighter one. I have the tag in here in my fancy dancy pocket. Imagine that. I could actually get it out. It's one of your neutral bases that I ordered not too long ago. Obviously, I ordered it from you, but So in Castle. So this one is Yarn Cafe Creations in Castle on her fluffy sock, which is a 75-25. And then the orange, the awesome killer fall one, is Alexandra's Craft in the autumn colorway, and it's on her Timberline Ice Space, which is, I have to read it because it's crazy. 63% superwash merino, 20% silk, 15% nylon, 2% silver. And then I'm holding the autumn with this mohair and silk blend that matches really quite nicely. And that's got, I can get the tag out for that too, maybe. I'm trying to do this in front of my window to have better lighting, so I don't have my desk in front of me to hold everything on. Cape Town Collection, Toria. It's an 80/20 mohair silk. Oh, nylon. There's no silk in this at all. I got it on sale at one of my old yarn shops that has since closed, which is very sad. But I've had it in my stash for a long time, and it just happened to be the perfect pattern to come along for this. So I have one more ball of this to pair, and it should take all 200 grams of my fingering weight to make this. It's kind of a scarfy wrap thing, but you can see, again, I'll give you that little teaser again, how fluffy that looks. And that's going to be the front side of it. So that's all you get. Sorry. I will definitely show it off in its full glory, A, when it's done, and B, when the pattern is released, and I can actually show it in its full glory. So that is whip number 1, my secret little whip. Whip number 2, let's do this one because I'm really hooked on brioche right now, guys. I can't get enough of it. So this is in my Nanette Wakes, right? Is that who that is? Nanette. In one of her woven bags, which I love, and I love that you get all of these pretty jewelries with it. Makes me so happy. Nanette Studios, Nanette Wakes. I think she's Nanette Wakes on Instagram. I can't remember. But in here is my Shushui. Shushui. Have we figured out how to say that? Aren't they stunning, Jennifer? I love them. I want 20 million more of them. And heads up, you only get these crazy pretty beaded gemmy things with her zippered bags. So keep that in mind when you're looking at them because I love them. Oh, I have a whip down there too. I have whips everywhere. But yeah, this is my, oh goodness, Shushui, however the heck you say this, my shrug. And this is where I'm at, and you can't really tell, but I have the tiniest beginnings of the increases for, that's exactly why I'm doing it, Christy, to enter your knit along. So there are, what, 3 or 4 podcasters doing this, and so it's Girls of the Yarn Cafe, Meg from Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits. We have got Lofty Loops and Corner of Craft podcast, or the Crafty Chat podcast, are doing the Shushui, that one, that knit along. And I love it. I am so excited by this. I'm very, I can't wait. I am still, so let's back up a little bit, shall we? So I am knitting this out of, the lighter color is Goosey Fibers in her Nymphadora colorway. And then the dark is Malabrigo Machita in the Unicorio color. And I went with my Goosey Fiber because when I ordered from her, long story, I know I've talked about it in the past in previous podcasts, but I was originally going to do the Birds of a Feather shawl with that. And then her mohair wasn't what I thought it was, so that was wrong. And then when I caked up her single space, again, Nature of Hand dyed, they were so different. They were obviously the same color, but one is much more heavily speckled with kind of the tealy blue that's in here. I knew I wanted to do more of kind of a fade idea with it rather than try to alternate skeins or this and that. So when the lovely ladies of all of those lovely podcasts came along, we're like, let's do this shrug. I thought it would be perfect because then I can get a fade effect with this light color by having the more speckled, heavily speckled at the bottom. And I can still kind of get that effect and feeling. So I'm still in my first skein, actually first skeins with both of my light and dark colors, but I love this thing. It is such an addictive knit. Thanks guys. I'm so happy with it. So happy with it. Like I said, I've just got the very beginnings of where you start to increase for the separation for the sleeves. And yeah, I think I've got a couple more repeats of that to go, and then put the sleeves on some waist yarn, and then I'll keep going with the main body. And I think after that is probably where I will bring in the more heavily speckled skein, because I can't wait to get to the teal. I'm so excited. And then this is a bit of an acquisition, but over the weekend, I guess it was technically over the weekend. It was technically just yesterday, but I went to the Washington Coast to see my family this weekend. And on my way back, I stopped in Hood River at a shop called Not Another Hat, and I picked up my contrasting color for the I-cord bind off. And I am so excited. I didn't have this with me to match colors or anything. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it very well, but I thought that kind of was going to pull out the fun little fuchsia flecks that are in the Nymphadora color. And this is a Madeline Tosh unicorn tail in her Tosh Merino Light, I think. Yeah. And then the color cracked me up. It is called Death by Elocution. So I just thought that was a funny name. I like to buy my yarns based on names because that's the kind of person I am. So these are going, I didn't know how much I needed. I figured I'd be safe with 2. But this is going to be my I-cord bind off on the edge. So I get to have a contrasting color now. Yay. So excited. And these have got my little marshmallow stoppers from Coconuts, which I love and adore. Oh, hey, Jen. Shout out to Jen. I've got one of her, what are these things called? Measuring tapes. Living in this bag. I've got measuring tapes stashed everywhere. Everywhere. Okay. Next whip that I'll talk about is this one. Right? So this is living in my Scrappy Thread wool bag. Oh, that's crazy that you're getting ready for bed because it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon here, Caitlin, but I hope you have a good night. Thanks for joining me. Bye. Love you. But yeah, this is in my Scrappy Thread bag. Wax, I think this is a wax canvas bottom, wool top. I love this bag. It is a killer sweater bag because it's so right. Scrappy Thread, do it. I think she might have some in her shop right now. And so I've got all of my fun buttons on here. And yeah, so living in this bag is my Comfort Fade Cardi. So excited. More stoppers from Coconuts because I'm addicted to these things. And they're awesome. Try not to set that on the dog's head. And I have finally started the ribbing. You're probably not going to tell, but there is like 2 rows of ribbing in there. But this is my Comfort Fade Cardi. And now that I pull it out again, because I haven't worked on it very much, I love this thing. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I am knitting this out of So Happy Jane in her, what is it? Delightful Day Base, I think is what it's called. Yep, delightful. So Happy Jane is the dyer that I'm using. And it's so squishy. Okay. I love a good fingering weight. But I love DK right now. I love DK right now. It's so squishy, so squishy. So the top color is Agate Beach. That then goes into Spin Me Round. Then goes into, oh, what is this one called? I have to look it up again. Nope, that's a spin me round tag. Is it contemplation? No, I think contemplation is the light one. I can't remember, and I don't have all my tags anymore. Ugh. I've got them on previous podcasts. Lavish. Lavish is the next one. Okay, so spin me round, lavish, and then this lightest color is contemplation. And I love it. And this is pretty outside of my color palette, my color zone. I like bright colors. I like rich, deep, jewelry colors. So the top color really plays into what I love. I want a whole sweater knit out of this. But getting into these lighter neutral pastels is really it's not my style, but I love it. And it's been so fun to knit. I'm planning, okay, so Rebecca asked if the sleeves are knit inside out. So you could do, you can purl the whole sleeve. My plan is to knit them inside out, and I have to be sure that I'm carrying my yarn on the outside when I'm knitting. That way when I flip it right side out, I guess, for the reverse stockinette, my yarn carries are on the inside of the sleeve. So purling would take forever, but I'm definitely going to do them inside out so I can just knit. Jen, did you do yours inside out? It's not as hard as it sounds, I don't think. It's just, instead of knitting them on this side and purling around and around, I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to knit around and around and around, carrying my yarn on the outside rather than on the inside. Does that make sense? Yeah. Oops. The whole reverse stockinette thing throws me off. I still want to look at this thing from this way and say that that's the right side, which would be pretty. But yeah, reverse stockinette. This way. I don't know. I'm confused now. I hate sleeves too, but I bought 12-inch circulars for my sleeves, hoping that that will make it go a little quicker and a little less painless, or a little less painful. There we go. Because I'll do magic loop. That's how I do my socks, but I'm not the biggest fan of magic loop on sleeves. It's just cumbersome having to flip things all the time. So I've heard some good things from the shorter, from the 12-inch circular. So I'm hoping that I get good results with that as well. We shall see, but I need to get this ribbing done before I do that. Oh, you use 9-inch. Well, I bought 12 because, again, I'm a big girl. I got big arms, so I think the 12 will work fine for me. I may have to switch to either buy 9-inch circulars or switch to magic loop once I get down here. But at that point, I think I'll be okay, rather than starting magic loop all the way up here. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. But yeah, so this is Comfort Fade Cardi. I'm very excited by it. I wish that I had been more monogamous on it so I could actually wear it while the weather is still cold, but it's kind of starting to warm up a little bit here. I'm sure we'll still have our cooler days. And I can just snuggle up inside when the AC is blasting, because I don't like AC, because I like AC. It has its perk, but I always get too cold with the AC. So, okay, that's that one. Now I've got some socks. So, digging these ones way out. I cast these on at Thanksgiving. And this is living in another Little Fish Stitches bag. I love her bags, guys. They're awesome because I can hang it on my arm and I can undo my little thing here and I can knit straight from here. I adore her bags. And she's got a great podcast too. So I highly recommend you go check her out. Woo! Well, maybe I do need to fix that. This is a hoe that got left at my brother's at Thanksgiving. And so when I was home over the weekend, I finally got it back, but their cat likes anything woolly, so I've got a loose stitch here. Yes. And it can stay safe. Yes, yes, yes. But I don't think that's a broken stitch. I think it's just a loose stitch that I need to take a needle and kind of readjust. But yeah, this is actually Megan's Blueberry Smash on her tweed base. And then this is Jen, Perfect Stitch Fiber Company in AU Guys for contrasting. But this is just a, I think I did a 6x1 rib on this. And then I've got markers marking, I think, every 20 rows. Oh, maybe I do. Oh, damn it. I do have a hole. The cat got me. I'm going to have to do some repair work, I think. Yep. That's a hole in my hoe. A hole in my hoe. Makes me so sad. But thankfully I've got the yarn and I can do some mending on that, I think. Or I just take the toe out. I'll have to think about that. I've got a hole. Boo. Damn cat. That's what I get for leaving my socks at my brother's house. Oh well. Okay. Other than that, in this bag, I have socks that I've not worked on much, but these are the Snowfall pattern by Tabby of Hey Sister Yarn and Podcast. And this is knit out of their Can't Take the Sky From Me colorway on their sparkle base. And I love them. They're soft and they're great. And they just kind of live in my car and I put a row in every now and then. Ooh, I should probably add a progress keeper so I can actually keep track of these now. Because I know I've worked on them a little bit. It's the last time I showed them on the podcast, but not a whole lot. But I will add a progress keeper, and now we'll know. So I think this is a Nitty by Nature progress keeper. But yeah, there it lives. A little while longer, and then I can put the heel in. These are being knit on the ChowGoo mini twists. So they have the really flexible cord. Like I like the ChowGoo cords a lot anyway, but these ones are even thinner and finer and even more bendy and squishy, but don't have the memory. I love them. I do think that I have the short tips on these. I do think that I want to get a set of the longer tips. Boris, I don't want to let you out because you're going to have to go potty. Can you hang on just a little bit longer? Just a little bit longer. Come here. Come here, Double. They just don't, the sock doesn't fit all the way on the needle, which kind of drives me nuts. So I think I will get a set of longer tips for these and try them out that way. But other than that, I love the cord. It's perfect for Magic Loop. I wish all of their cords for all of their sizes were this pliable and flexible for Magic Loop, because it's not just socks that you use Magic Loop on. So there is those socks. And then, come here. Come on. No, don't run away from me. Come here. Your people want to see you. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Oh, you can see him. He's right there. It's not my last whip because I do have one more after this. But these I have to be careful with because I'm in the middle of the heel. And I love these socks. Are my Calluna Socks. And this is a pattern from Becky Sorensen of the Stitching the High Notes podcast. And I wish I could show these better, but like I said, I'm in the middle of the short row heel. But this is going to go on the outside of the leg. And then it has, I don't think you're going to be able to tell that very well, this little kind of eyelet section that runs up the back of your calf. I love these socks. Ooh, I should probably say what yarn it is, huh? This is in Lolo Did It, Pretty Young Thing, in her everyday socks. So it's her 75-25 sock base. They are so bright and obnoxious. And I am trying Becky's New Depths heel because it is a new heel for me right now. I am not the biggest fan of it, but I think I just have to get the hang of it. And I'll be okay with it. It's just another form of a short row heel that gives you a little extra space up in the instep of your foot. So yeah. Look at how fun that is. And this has got a twill and print little slow snail progress keeper. But yeah, that's the other sock that I'm working on. I love how bright this yarn is. It's so fun. It is so fun. Lolo did it, Pretty Young Thing. Get it. Buy it. Knit with it. Love it. Okay. My last whip of my active whips has been the thing that has actually been consuming me the most, which is a little crazy, but I think it's because it is right. I love the neon. A little bit of instant gratification. Hang out with mom. Yes, hang out with mom. And it's my cozy memory blanket. I have done so much on this since the last time I podcast. It's crazy. Hi. Last time I podcast, I thought maybe I was going to make it a little wider. Right now it's 12 high. It's 12 squares wide. And I think I'm going to keep it at that, just at this point, because it is, I mean, it's pretty wide. I mean, it's not quite my wingspan, but it's pretty darn close. But yeah, I have done this entire top row, and then I've started the next row below it. I have so many ends to weave in, guys. It's crazy. So everything that's got a stitch marker on it. So I did those two. I did this one during the Olympics. Everything with a stitch marker on this row. This is Lemonade Shop is new. And I love it. I think this one's a no maker square. That's another Lolo. And then I've got these three. I'm very excited by them. Yay! So as you might be able to tell, I have a center point that I'm working out from. I didn't want all of my lines going the same direction. So I created a center point to do that thing. This square will be forever known as my flat tire square. If any of you guys saw on Instagram over the weekend, on Saturday, I went to drive home to see my parents up on the Washington coast, and about an hour away from my house, I got a flat tire and was stuck there for 2 hours while I waited for Les Schwab to come and bring me a new tire. So I knit that square while I was waiting. So that square will forever be my flat tire square. Yeah. So that's kind of all I've got working. That's all I'm working on right now. I do have a crap ton of acquisitions that I'm very excited about. Are you gonna let mom show her acquisitions? Because her yarn stash is getting crazy. But a lot of what I bought has some sort of project in mind, which I've been trying to be better about. Tristan from Dragon Horde Yarn and I had a little conversation the other day, and she told me to never apologize for my stash or for my acquisitions, which I'm trying not to. I'm coming from a history where I've not ever been able to buy yarn like I have been lately. It's always had to been very careful and planned for the project that I'm knitting right then and there, just because of the job I had and the amount of money I was making. And I finally have the freedom to kind of treat myself, and it feels really good. And so that's what I'm doing. And I love that I get to support independent dyers, local yarn shops. It all just makes me really happy. So we're going to dive into some acquisitions. And by some, I mean a lot, because I have a giant bag here. It looks like I just went to a big festival, and I didn't. So, oh, I've got a sleepy doggo. He's giving me his tired eyes. His very tired eyes. Will you let mom show her stuff? Maybe? Maybe? Yeah? Okay. So, yes, always treat yourself. I agree. So, what did I do? I got some interchangeables. I have an interchangeable set from Knit Picks that I bought a long time ago. And they're great. I love my Chow Goods though, and I have wanted this set for a very long time. So this is the small size. So if you're not familiar with how Chow Goose sells their interchangeable sets, they sell them in like halves, I guess. So you have the small sizes, which runs a US 2 through a US 8, or the large sizes, which is a US 9 to a US 15. The small and larges have different sizes, different size cords, but everything is marked with an S or an L, which is really nice. And I, for these, did buy the short tips because I like to be able to make a 16-inch needle when I need to or when I have to for a pattern. So yeah, and I went and I bought a bunch of additional cables to go with it. So I am set for a long time with cables. I shouldn't be running out anytime soon. It comes with stitch markers, extenders, and holders. I mean, I love the ChowGoo needles. I do. I love the tips. They're sharp, but they're not crazy like the Hiya sharps. I'm not worried about stabbing myself. But yeah, so this is my first. I mean, this is by no means the order in which I bought things, but this was definitely a treat yourself moment, and I love them. Love them, love them, love them. Next up, we're just going in the order that they're stuffed in this bag. Again, if you follow me on the Instagram, which I think y'all do. I love these things. They're so exciting. These are Blue Moon fiber art. Let me dig a tag out here. I mean, they're so absurd, but I love them. These are get the biggest in a deal. So these are the Blue Moon Cake DK. And so each cake has about 765 yards on it. There's 9 ounces, 255 grams. They're crazy. And I got the colorway. I love it. Tweet Toots. And I am planning on making a portage cardigan. And the portage cardigan has been on my knit list for a long time now. And DK weight is not cheap. I mean, it can be really expensive. Into perspective, one of these cost, it was either $35 or $37. I know that I have DK weight yarn in my stash from Indie Dyers that cost $30. Like, prime example, where did it go? The DK yarn Comfort Fade Cardi out of was $32 a skein, and it is 231 yards in it. So this is not a bash on Indie Dyers who are charging that, because obviously your time, your effort, the quality of the wool that you're buying to dye on is obviously worth something. But this was a phenomenal deal. I don't know how Blue Moon does it. I don't know, because it's 100% superwash merino wool. I wish every indie dyer could get on this train because it's amazing and I love it. So this was the only way that I was going to be able to get that portage cardigan at a reasonable cost. And this was more than reasonable. I love this. So I have 3 skeins of that. Next up, I have a bunch of just single fingering weight skeins of yarn, and they'll become socks or something. I don't know. So I'm trying to pull those out just so we can, excuse me. This, right? I mean, it would be, I wish you guys could figure out how Blue Moon does that because they have like a worsted weight that's a giant yarn baby worth of yarn as well. Like it's crazy. Excuse me, I don't want your butt. Stop it. So these are just some single skeins of stock yarn that I've purchased over the last month or so. This one is actually month 2 of Molly Klein's 90s boy band yarns. And this is in her Just Got Paid colorway, which is an NSYNC reference. Got an accent all of a sudden. And I love it. I don't have a lot of green in my stash. So I love mystery yarns just because they tend to be something other than what I would pick myself, you know. So I love this. Next up, speaking of not having a lot of green, apparently I was on a green kick. But my local yarn shop just started carrying Hooker's Corner. And I wish that is not accurate. This is definitely like a lime pickly green. This is not the right color. But the color is Forever Young. I could not get over those speckles right there. Aren't those crazy? Love the speckles. Love the speckles. And then another single skein of shock yarn that I just couldn't resist. My first official lemonade shop. I received it as a gift twice. And this is the Magical Lucky Charms color. And this is a limited run around St. Patrick's Day. And I love it. It is so bright, so rainbowy. It makes me so happy. So who knows with them? Probably socks. Maybe they'll get thrown into a shawl somewhere. I don't know. Ooh, another sock yarn. This is a self-striping goodness. This is from Mustache Yarn. My first mustache yarn. I posted this on Instagram and I could not because the colorway is Pippi after Pippi Lums and I love Pippi. I had to get Pippi yarn and it's so springy and happy and I love it because there's going to be a stripe of these like orange speckles. That makes me so happy. And these are her must match skeins. So there are 250 identically matched skeins in this. This is not working for me, Boris. Get back here. Ooh, another one. I'm telling you guys, this is ridiculous, the amount of yarn that I have. But I love them all. Love them all. This is from Noble Character Crafts. And I was turned on to this from Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. And she designed her pair of socks. I can't remember what socks they are out of this yarn. And this is called Healing. And a certain amount of the proceeds of this is going to breast cancer research. And my mom is a breast cancer survivor. My grandmother passed away of breast cancer. My aunt, my mom's sister, is a survivor. Breast cancer is something that is very rooted in my family, as sad and scary as that is. And so any opportunity that I have to support the cause, I take, because there's a chance that one day I'm going to need the benefits of that research. So the colorway is called Healing. And I do enjoy that she put a proverb on here. It will be the healing to your flesh and refreshment to your bones. And it came with this gorgeous little breast cancer ribbon. yeah, so this is a very special skein to me. I'm not sure if I'm going to knit the socks that Kay designed out of this, or if this will be kind of held in reserve for more of a shawl or something that needs a solid. But just, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, Boris, this is not going to work for Mom. Get down. Get down. Okay. Now let's get into some. Yeah. So a couple weekends ago, I went to Boise to see. Got some fuzz going on. My niece swim at her regional swim meet. And when I left, I was like, hey, I don't think I've been to a yarn store in Boise. Let's find one. And boy, oh boy, did I find one. Did I save the bag? Yes. Okay. So I got this yarn from the Twisted U in Boise, Idaho. And it is a really cool shop. It used to be like a metalwork studio. So they've got all of this crazy metalwork throughout the yarn shop that just gives it this really cool industrial kind of vibe in a yarn shop. And while I was there, there was a dyer having a trunk show. And that dyer is Thriving Hive Studios. You see that? And so I got to meet the dyer behind Thriving Hive Studios. And she's so sweet. And I couldn't decide on just one thing. So I had to get this. This was the first one that caught my hand. And this is a hand spun. She hand dyed, spun this. And it's called Owl Feathers. It is a DK weight worsted spun. I love the marling in this. I'm really excited to see if it's going to kind of stripe because there are different colors in there. And then I had to get this gorgeous skein of DK called Japan in Spring. And this is a 100% superwash merino. And then I had to get this fun little mini, which I want her to dye me a whole skein of. And this is Beach Drinks on an 80-20 base. And it's just fun. I love it. So this is definitely going to go into my Cozy Memories blanket. And then we'll just see what these become. I bought these because I didn't want to just buy a single skein of sock yarn. So instead I bought 2 single skeins of DK weight yarn. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with these. But I think they're stunning. They could even possibly look kind of cool together. I don't know. But Thriving Hive Studios. Gorgeous colors. She does have a good deal of hand spun yarn that she does. It's just very, very gorgeous yarn. So go check her out. Next up, let's do, another single sock. Part of the D-stash at my yarn shop. More plucky. And this is flannel in the Snug. So it's the 70-20-10 cashmere base. Just, again, trying to build solids in my yarn collection because I don't have enough. Let's do some sock kits now. So I went on a bit of a sock kit craziness. First up is my Nora George. And this was her Mrs. Weasley's Yarn Club, I think for February. And this is called the Quibbler with the matching black skein. I know some people are not quite so excited by the black skein. They think it's kind of harsh. Thought maybe it was a bit of a cop-out. But I think with these those are super bright neon colors in here. I think the black is a fun contrast. So there's that sock kit. Oh, he's chewing on his little bone. This is a sock kit I put together. And this is from Lolo Did It. And this is the Yeti Goes to Hogwarts color. So she just came out with kind of like the hippos, but instead of the hippo for holidays, it's the Yeti Goes to collection. And her first one was the Yeti Goes to Hogwarts. And I got a Lolo in the Wonka colorway. And I am so excited. I love these kind of taupey gray bases with rainbow speckles on them. I love them. They're my favorites. So that's another definite sock that's going to happen. And then I did a bit of an oily swap with, I feel so bad. I can't remember her name now. Hold, please. Hold, please. Oh, hi, Caleb. Allison, gosh, why couldn't I remember that? Allison, I'm so sorry. From Lofty Loops. So I sent her some doTERRA oils, and she sent me some yarn in exchange. And so she sent me a full skein with 2 minis that will definitely become socks. And so this is her Red Pill Blues colorway with matching minis. And this is actually inspired by the newest Maroon 5 album. And I am a big Maroon 5 fan. So when she posted that, I went, that one. That's the one I want. Send me that one. So yeah, there's that. And she does gorgeous yarn. I hadn't heard of Allison or her yarn until the Shu Shui knit along came along. And then I had to look her up. And then I've now fallen in love with her podcast and her yarns. And she's just a very sweet, sweet person. So this is an 80-20 base, which I haven't knit a pair of socks out of in a long time. So very excited. So Red Pill Blues, which I think she has in her shop right now, or at least it's a new enough color that it's not one that's like retired, I don't think, with the matching minis. So yay, another pair of socks. All of the socks. And then this one might be a bit of a spoiler. So if you ordered the Very Potter Musical sock kits from Tristan of Dragon Horde Yarn, and you got the Granger Danger colorway, and you've not gotten it in the mail yet because I just got mine over the weekend, look away if you don't want to be spoiled, because I have mine and I'm going to show it because it's gorgeous. I love it. Look at that. Look at how pretty that is. And it's not even coming up super color accurate even. It's close. I love this. Look at the little gold and the mauve and the speckles. I love this. Tristan, you killed it. She is freaking killing it in the dye pots lately. So are you, Christy. You and your adulting collection. The new teen collection kills me. It's awesome. But yeah, Granger Danger. I love it. And I love the soft little pale. Again, I don't know if this is a color I ever would have bought on my own. Hence why these mystery clubs are so fun, because you just don't know what you're going to get. And I love it. Okay, that's obnoxious. Sorry. He is, yeah, you guys, okay, yeah. Girls in the Yarn Cafe ladies, both of you, Tristan is super talented, but Christy, you are insanely talented too. I need to get my hands on some of your adulting colors because they're so stunning. I love what you guys are doing lately. I am obsessed. But yeah, I love this color. And I have 3 more skeins from her coming my way. Sorry, not sorry. They're too pretty. I had to get them. And one of them, I think, is going to be the perfect completion to my What the Fade that I posted on Instagram a little while ago. So yeah. Okay, I'm getting to the bottom here. These next 3, I got them based off of their names. 2 of them, definitely their names. Actually, all of them, their names. And then their cause behind it, too. So these first 2, Countess Ablaze. Look at how bright. I mean, this is real. This is so bright and so neon. If you don't follow Countess Ablaze on Instagram, you need to. She is a UK-based dyer one of the first indie dyers I ever started following because her colors are so insane. And she recently had someone kind of cause a bit of stir on her Instagram talking about how, you know, she needed to put herself out there more if she wanted to, you know, really make a big name for herself, which I'm sorry, but the Countess Ablaze, like, she's got a name for herself. And that, like, knit nights were this old lady thing and whatnot. So she dyed up colors based off of these comments, and I love them. So this one is called Shit Tea and Tray Bake. And it's just, again, one of those fun kind of gray taupey colors with all of these bright speckles. I mean, I love it. I absolutely love this yarn. And it is on, both of these are on her BFL sock base. So these will be socks. And then both of these, part of the proceeds are going to the Women's Aid. And at this point in time, she just posted on her Instagram that she is like over 2,000 pounds that she has to donate to the Women's Aid based off of these two skeins alone, which is phenomenal. I love it. So yeah, Shit Tea and Tray Bake. And then this one cracks me up. The colors are stellar. I mean, they're so, that is true to life neon right there. And this one is called If I Want Exposure, I'll Get My Tits Out. Her sense of humor cracks me up. I wish she had a podcast because I would probably watch her obsessively because she is so snarky and real and just tells it like it is. I love it. So yeah, the like women supporting women, you know, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so speaking of women supporting women, this one I picked up yesterday again at Another Hat in Hood River. And this is some knitted wit. And this is called Ladies Celebrating Ladies. And it's on our Victory Fingering yarn. So it's 100% superwash merino. There's no nylon. I wish they had it in nylon because I'd love to make a pair of socks out of it. But now this means I get to pair it with something else and turn it into an amazing shawl. So yeah, Ladies Celebrating Ladies. And I am all for all of that. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm really sorry if you can hear my dog chewing on his little bully stick. It's kind of gross. But yeah, it just, I love the knitted wit. I love her colors. I love how vibrant they are. Just makes me happy. So these are my like my girl power skeins right here. They could almost go together, really. I don't know what I would do with them, but they could almost go together. It's hard because this one has obviously been reskeined when these two have not. But yeah, my girl power yarns. We'll go to this one. While at that shop, I picked up some yarn for one of the most knit-worthy people I have in my life. That is my dad, and you can tell that he's knit-worthy because it's black. I'm going to knit him a pair of fingerless mitts. He has a pair that he's been loving, but they are acrylic. Holding together awesome because they're acrylic, so they're plastic. But I want to knit him a pair of real wool fingerless gloves. And now that I've seen how that pair fits him, I've been able to make adjustments to the pattern I use to where they should fit him even better. And being wool, they'll just be awesome. So this is shepherd's wool. It just black. Nothing exciting, but you know the person is knitworthy when you're willing to knit them something out of solid, straight up black yarn. We'll do these ones. These actually came in the mail today, and I'm very happy about them. And they make me very happy because they remind me of home. Again, I'm on a huge Primrose yarn company kick. Specifically, her Rose Gold collection, which are limited runs. And this one, and they're all based off of like 90s music, which child of the 90s here, guys. Come on. I was born in 1987. My whole childhood was in the 90s. I am a 90s child. And so I have 2 colors from her rose gold collection already, but this one had to come home with me, and it is called Come As You Are. And I mean, if you are big Nirvana fans, you know that they originated in Aberdeen, Washington, and that is where I'm from. That's where I grew up. That's where I spent the first 20 years. The first 20 years of my life was in Aberdeen. And as you come into Aberdeen, there's, Welcome to Aberdeen right below it. Come As You Are. Nirvana, Kurt Cobain is total claim to fame. And I don't know if the dyer behind Primrose really did as much research as I'm reading into this, but this color is home. It is home in a skein of yarn. I mean, these are the gray dreary skies. These are the muddy banks of the Wishkah. I mean, she has got everything that just screams Aberdeen to me. I mean, our high school colors are blue and gold, so I see blue and gold and I think Aberdeen. But this encompasses the whole city, I think. And I doubt she did her research that much. But, I mean, they're home. They're home in skeins of yarn, and these are very special to me now. I have no idea what they're going to become. They're on her Sophia base, which is her 80-10-10 merino cashmere nylon base. Doesn't it legit look like Aberdeen? Like, it is. It's totally Aberdeen. And the name Come As You Are, obviously is a Nirvana song. Obviously, that's what inspired her. But the colors got me. Like, she nailed it. She absolutely nailed what Aberdeen would be if they were in yarn. So I had to. And it's cashmere too. So who knows what this will become, but it will become something awesome. I love it. And last but certainly not least in the realm of acquisitions. Oh no, I've got 2 things actually. Gosh. Okay, we'll do this one since it's on top. If you look at my Instagram, you saw these. These are going to be my Sunset Highway. So I've got Sweet Georgia in the Rainbow Sprinkles colorway, which I love. So fun. I saw this at my local yarn shop, and I knew that this had to become a Sunset Highway, which then meant that I needed to find the coordinating skeins to go with it. So these are Goosey Fibers. And you may just have to go on my Instagram to see the better picture of it. But they go super well together, and I love it. So Sweet Georgia Tough Love Sock in Rainbow Sprinkles. And this is Trelawney's Sherry from Goosey Fibers. All of these are Goosey Fibers. I open at the close. And tea leaves. So part of me wants to pull a Meg from Bad Wolf Girl Studios and rename the Rainbow Sprinkles. So then I have a total Harry Potter sweater and name it like Birdie Bot's Every Flavor Beans or something like that. But I love them. They are going to be the most amazing Sunset Highway ever. That might just get cast on tonight. And by might, it's going to. I'm going to get done with this and I'm going to go wind these up because I don't have to edit anything. It's great. Okay. Now, last but not least, this has been like an hour of straight up acquisition, but that's okay. Enabling. Maybe you guys will go buy some pretties too. I finally, after trying and failing once, have yarn for my birds of a feather. Makes me so happy. This I ordered from, oh my gosh, Do You Knit all the way over in New Jersey because they had been spamming my Instagram with all of their birds of a feather kits. And I Love this one. The sagey green, the Julie colors, the neon pops. I love it. And so this is all hedgehog, obs, in the Park Life color. And it's the skinny singles and the Kid Silk Haze. And this is going to be a birds of a feather. And I'm very excited by it. Very excited. I love it because it's got some crazy colors in it. Like, I don't know if that's gonna show all those. I mean, look at how cool that is. I mean, we all know hedgehog. Hedgehog's amazing. But having more of it in my stash just makes me happy. And knowing exactly, see, yeah. I can tell my other mohair doesn't have the silk in it. This is a 70-30 mohair silk, and my other one's an 80-20 mohair nylon, and this is much softer. Oh well, it's gonna be fun. Yay! Okay, and with that, that is it. That's all I got for you. Thanks for joining me on the live, and if you're jumping in later after the fact, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for sitting through no notes live, a bit of craziness. Let me know what you thought of the live. I know it was kind of a weird time. I probably could have waited a couple hours and gotten more Midwest, East Coast people, but it was kind of fun to do it live. And now I don't have to worry about editing. Like, people are onto something with this because now I can just put all this yarn away and then get back to knitting, and it's great. So with that, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. I'll probably see you in about a week and a half if all goes right. So happy knitting. Bye, guys. Mwah! Bye.